Tanya is one of our senior triage specialists, so kind of a licensed staff that does a little bit of everything. One of the things that she is personally focused on is getting individuals from a crisis center setting to a substance abuse residential setting. And there's so much more in that than just the simplicity of saying, oh, do you have a bed? I mean, you have that, at one time within the last 4 to 5 years, we were running 1,700 people on that, up to 1,700 people on that waiting list. And she's able to get them in a 5 to 7 day stay placed in a substance abuse residential bed, which in many cases, that gap in between crisis and the availability of the bed is a lethal gap. Also, you're talking about consumers that have stigma of going to rehab or going over all those issues, the stigma of having to get past that, and having the mental health stigma themselves, that they don't think they're worth it, or they think it's hopeless, or they think it's helpless. So she's actually addressing it. She addresses it at the individual level with the consumer, at the facility level with our staff and other entities, and then she addresses it system-wide. She's getting that down to rote, and now she's working on the domestic violence piece and trying to do that. So she just moves on to the next one. It's not a problem, it's just another challenge to her.
Well, I don't think there could be another nominee this year that has done more than Suzanne the past year or two on reducing stigma and changing attitudes throughout our system. Well, for one thing, she's a ball of fire, so she seems to can be in 3 places at one time. For another thing, she doesn't give up on an individual or on an agency or on an organization. She keeps going back, whether it be a state agency, provider agency, landlord, groups of landlords, She manages and all of the support services for housing and for employment, which is the IPS model, which is an evidence-based model for case management to help people become employed and stay employed in a job of their choice. She's a delightful person, extremely committed to seeing these models fully implemented, and I will guarantee you she will never stop until they're statewide and until every person in Oklahoma who has a mental illness, who has a substance use disorder, keeping them from being able to be employed or keeping them from being able to be stably housed or both, have their needs met and are back being a productive citizen in their own community.
Tina Blackwell is a triage specialist assistant that has worked for more than 20 years at our Heavener satellite. She works to educate the communities on mental illness and how to reduce stigma. She works with the consumers to help teach them on how to meet their needs. She works with the consumers' families to educate them on mental illness and the things that they can do to empower themselves and the consumers to have a better life and remain in the communities. Tina works on changing attitudes by giving them information, helping them to feel empowered, helping them to understand that it's to be an advocate for one of their family members or a friend or whoever, and to advocate for them in the system.
Tina is wonderful with our consumers, and because she's the director of the recreational therapy, Tina affects our consumers at each of our portions of NCBH. So she does services at the outpatient office here in Woodward. She does services at the Lighthouse and at ACU and TRU. The way she handles people, the way she talks to people, she has this infectious enthusiasm and a cheerfulness and an energy about her. And of course she's compassionate and of course she's kind, but it goes beyond that. And so when she's talking to our consumers, they know that she really cares about them and that she has their best interest at heart.
Oh my gosh, it's very exciting. It lets me know that I'm on the right track to helping our clients. I love getting the opportunity every day to work with our clients, and I do that at the Substance Abuse Center, of course, at the Lighthouse, outpatient. I do it at the acute care unit up in Fort Supply and also with our transitional clients. So to let me know that somebody sees something in me that's working for our clients, changing their attitudes every day and working with them, it's a great honor.
I think about the things she's often heard saying around the department. We are not in this alone. We're not meant to be isolated. We have to find purpose. She's definitely found her purpose, and her purpose is really saving lives and mending broken people. She'd always say, find your purpose, and it can help keep you alive. I watch her daily dedicate herself to changing attitudes and eliminating stigma. She celebrates life. She speaks out about mental health issues. She's always doing her part to educate.